Okay, so in this video, we are going to cover exactly how to stop worrying about something. And the intention is to, in 5 minutes flat, be able to take you from a place of stress and anxiety and worry into a space of calm, peace, surrender, and essentially belief that you can create whatever it is that you want to create in your life, free from the concerns and worries that at the moment might be holding you back. All right, so by the way, as you're watching this video, if you're getting value, if you like what we're talking about here, hit like and comment below with any perspectives, questions, anything to add to the conversation, because a lot of people do get value from the comments. And as always, don't forget to hit subscribe down below for 3 videos like this every single week. And also hit that little notification bell, really important. Otherwise you won't get reminders, which everyone wants, right? So the intention here is to go through a simple 5-step process that you can follow that is going to enable you to really get any worrying thoughts or stressful, anxious thoughts, get them in the right perspective so that they no longer control your emotional state. So step number 1 is to get specific, because fear, especially when we're worrying about things that may or may not happen in the future, fear exists in the space where we create broad general statements. So not only do broad general statements cover up limiting beliefs in our mind, it's also within broad general statements that fear is allowed to thrive, because that's when our imagination can run riot and literally go berserk, and we create all these ridiculous scenarios of terrible apocalyptic things that might happen. And that's really where the fear and the physiological response of anxiety and fear that we feel exists, is in that space where we're just being very vague and very general. So the first thing is, what is it that we're worried about, and get very specific about exactly what that is. So for example, let's say we're starting a business and we have financial concerns, right? So we're worried about, we're investing money in our business, maybe we're running out of capital, maybe we're, even financing our business, and the money's not coming in, but the money's going out, and that's giving us a time limit until we run out, and that worry might be keeping us up at night. So the first thing to do is get very specific. What is it that we're actually worried about? What's actually going to happen if this situation comes to pass? Now, let's say we run out of money. If we don't get any more specific than that, we'll have all these imagined scenarios of ending up on the streets and jobless, and we'll be an absolute failure, and we'll never get a mortgage again because we'll be declared bankrupt and blah, 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 blah. But when you get specific, you look at, if you actually were in that situation, right? So you spend money in your business, and let's say you run out of capital. If you actually got there, what would you do to solve that problem? How could you come up with more money per month? How could you offset your debts? What sacrifices could you make in your outgoings that would enable you to fund and continue moving forwards in your business? And the more specific you can get about this, the more that you'll realize that nothing is ever as bad as we imagine it to be. We just let our imagination run riot, and we convince ourselves that that's actually the truth, and it's not. We just make up stories in our mind. And when you start to get specific, it starts to break down how ridiculous the stories really are. And it also helps if you say them out loud. If you say out loud what it is that you're actually worried about, and if you say it out loud with specificity, you'll hear yourself saying the story, and you'll hear how ridiculous it sounds and how it's never going to happen like that. All right, so that's step 1, get specific. And then step 2 is to approach it with the right perspective. So ask yourself, even if this comes to pass, even if this thing that I'm worried about happens, which it almost certainly won't, but even if it does, will this matter in 1 year or in 1 month or 1 week or even 1 day? Is it ever going to matter in the long run? And the answer is always no. And if we can look back on this event, like if in 5 years' time, when we're way past this thing, even if it's this huge thing that we're worried about, when we're way past it, if it won't matter then, and we would look back on it then, almost like with, we might even laugh at it, or might even think it was ridiculous that we were ever worried about it. If that's the case, and we could look at it through that lens then it means we can look at it through that lens now. Right? The perspective is, if in the future it won't even matter, it doesn't need to matter now. And it doesn't matter now. We're just making it matter based on all these meanings that we're creating. So the perspective allows you to recognize, well, when I've moved to where I want to get to, when I've created what I want in my life, if it won't matter then, it won't matter now. And then just ask yourself, how sure are you, how committed are you to creating that future? So again, take business. Let's say you're worried that you're gonna crash and burn, you're gonna fail, like your world's gonna end because you run out of money and you end up on the streets, which obviously wouldn't happen because you probably just go get a job, you probably drive for Uber, you probably Airbnb your house. Like, there's a ton of things we could do when our back's against the wall to pick ourselves up out of a situation. But in business, how certain are you that you're gonna create the result and you're gonna ultimately be successful? Because if you know that you're never going to quit no matter what, if you fail 1,000 times, if you know that you will never give up until you make it, you're either going to succeed or you're going to die trying. Those are the only two things that can happen. And if you die trying, you won't care what money you do or don't have in your bank account. That will not be even remotely a concern if this was our last day on the earth, if it was our dying breath. We're not going to be like, out of everything I've done, I just wish I didn't have credit card debt in my life. Like, that's not even going to be a concern. So the only other thing worth considering is that we're going to succeed if we refuse to quit and if we know we're never going to quit. And again, perspective, when you succeed, and you're living that life and you are successful, will it matter what steps you had to take to get there financially? Like, it won't matter, because when you're successful and everything that happened was just part of the journey to get to success. And I love that quote from Steve Jobs that says we can never connect the dots looking forwards, we can only connect the dots looking back. So how sure are you that you're not going to quit until you create that result? And if you know that you're sure, you know that the perspective is that one day it won't matter because you will succeed, and therefore it doesn't need to matter now. It means nothing. Let it go. We don't need to worry about it, right? Clarity of vision will trump everything if we know we're going to get there. And then number 3 is off the back of the first two. We embrace the worst case scenario. Because again, the fear will exist in the broad general statement, and when we get specific, it starts to break down the fear. But if you want to actually just kick it in the teeth and just obliterate it completely, if you embrace the worst case scenario, so the worst thing that you can imagine happening, and you go, you know what, even if that happens, I'll be okay. It will be fine. I'll figure it out. And if you have that level of belief and faith and certainty in yourself, that it will be okay and you will be okay, and you just accept the worst case scenario, go, if that happens, it happens, I'll figure it out. It loses its hold over you and you are then free to move. Because when you embrace the worst case scenario, nothing that can happen will stop you now. You've accepted it, you've surrendered to it. You're going, you know what, it's fine. It's not going to stop me moving forwards, because if it happens, I'm open and willing to let that happen. When we fear the worst case scenario and we try everything we can to try and avoid it because we're so terrified of it that we need to try and control the situation, that's where the anxiety is going to thrive. But if we accept that and we're willing to face that and we just move straight towards that, it doesn't have its hold over us anymore. And the anxiety and the fear starts to disappear because we've broken down the story where we're trying to control the future. We're not psychic. We cannot control the future. We do not have that level of power. And so to think that we can, or to try to control it, is going to cause us huge amounts of stress and anxiety and worry. Because naturally, because we can't control it, anxiety is going to thrive. So stop trying to control it. Just accept it and surrender to it. So when you embrace the worst case scenario and you trust that whatever happens, you will be okay. You always have and you always will. And we know you always have been okay. And we know that everyone who's watching this video has always been okay because you're watching this video. Unless you're in mortal danger right now, unless you're about to get attacked by a tiger, unless you're about to get hit by a train, everything's worked out okay. You're sitting here probably in your house, probably with a roof over your head. You probably have running water. You probably have food. Everything that has ever happened in your life has got you to this point. It has always been okay. You will always be okay. It'll always be okay. Stop panicking. Stop worrying. Let it go. Surrender. Embrace the worst case scenario. And if it happens, it happens. You'll figure it out and just move forwards. And so step 4 is once you have got specific about what it is, what's the fear, once you've got the right perspective around it, that it's not going to matter, once you've embraced the worst case scenario and accepted that it's going to be okay, step 4 is presence. Get in the moment. Because the fear and the anxiety thrives because we're not in the moment. Again, where are you right now? Like, is in the room that you're in the space that you're in, with what you're doing right now, is there anything to be terrified about? And unless you're in mortal danger right now, and there's a legitimate reason for fear, which if you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure is not the case, but unless you're in mortal danger right now, there is nothing to fear in this moment. We're creating an imagined future that doesn't exist and almost certainly will never exist. And even if it does exist, if we accept it, we don't need to fear it. And so if there's fear and anxiety, it's because our mind is running riot into an imagined future. And when you pull yourself back into the present moment, there is nothing to fear. We do not need to live in this state of anxiety and worry and fear. And so simple tip to get present is just close your eyes and just feel your body, feel your senses. What do you smell? What do you hear? What do you feel? Like, do you feel the air moving on your skin? Is it hot? Is it cold? Feel your body, feel your senses in this moment. Pull yourself back into the present. Because if you're feeling fear and worry and anxiety, it's because you're not present. Simple as that, right? So step 4, presence. Get in this moment. And then the final step, step 5, is gratitude. Because you cannot feel fear, anxiety, worry, anger, jealousy, any negative emotions. You cannot feel or be in a negative state when you are grateful. Fear and gratitude do not and cannot exist at the same time. So if you're back present in your body because you've done step 4, step 5 is to think of what are you grateful for. What are you grateful for about, to even have the worries that you have, to even have like this first world worry of like, oh, what if I run out of money in my business or whatever's troubling us at the moment? For that to be a worry, think how fortunate we are. Think how fortunate that we don't have a worry, where we're in a third world country and we're worrying if like our kids even going to make it through the night because they don't have any food, or worrying of whether our parents are going to get like bombed in Syria or something terrible like that. The fact that we even get to have the worries that we have in itself is like, we're so fortunate. And what other things can we be grateful for? What can we be grateful about? Like, the roof that we have over our head, or the fact that we turn on the tap and water comes out of it. The fact that we even get to build a business if it's the business that we're worried about. The fact that we even have the finances in the first place to do this. The fact that there's people around us who care about us and who will support us. The fact that we have friends, communities, mentors, etc. Like, whatever it is, what can you be grateful for that you even get to have these worries? That's the key. Like, get that perspective and be grateful for what we're experiencing. Because believe me, it could be so much worse. All right, so that's the 5-step process. Step 1, get specific. Step 2, get the right perspective. Step 3, embrace the worst case scenario. Step 4, get present in the moment. And then step 5, gratitude for what we have. Because fear and anxiety cannot exist at the same time as gratitude. So I hope this video has been powerful. If you've liked it, if you've got something from it, hit like now. And also, if you have a comment, any perspective, any question, anything to add, maybe anything else that's worked for you, then comment below, because a lot of people do get value from the comments in these videos as well. And finally, you should see on the screen right now the subscribe button. Hit that button right now. You get 3 videos like this that I do every single week. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell beside it, and you'll get an alert for those videos. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I really hope this has helped, and I will speak to you in the next video. Bye for now.